Oh, Lord. Audio has just resurfaced that implicates Melania Trump, Donald Trump, and their connections with Epstein. And it's Epstein saying it. You know, do these people think we're dumb? Do they think we're dumb? Do they think the internet does not exist? Melania Trump, of course, yesterday said randomly, out of nowhere, me and Jeffrey Epstein didn't know each other and I was not one of his victims. Okay, good to know. Why'd you say it? Regardless, it kicked it all back up into the air, and we have audio now that directly refutes what Melania said from Epstein's own mouth. I also have a book publisher's audio saying that, yes, Melania Trump met Trump through Epstein. Now, why is this?
She walked to that microphone without warning. No press release, no White House coordination. And what came out of Melania Trump's mouth sent shockwaves through Washington and straight into a scandal that was already buried alive. She said she never knew Jeffrey Epstein. She said she was not one of his victims. Unprompted, unannounced. And the internet immediately had one question. Why now? Because within hours of that statement, audio resurfaced. Audio that directly contradicts what she just told the world from Epstein's own voice. And what he says about Donald Trump, about Melania, about how deep this connection really goes.
Other folks said it's a distraction. I mean, how bad is it? How bad is it that the war you created to distract from Epstein is actually now so bad that you've got to use Epstein to distract from the war? I don't think that's what this is. I actually do think Melania Trump is trying to get ahead of something. And I don't think the White House or Donald Trump knew what she was going to say until she said it. Now, folks are saying, as it comes to this big story that's about to break, that it could be that Michael Wolff is about to release some audio. Here's one person saying Michael Wolff has said Epstein told him the first time Trump and Melania had sex was on Epstein's Lolita Express jet. He might release the audio of their interview, or a similar story might confirm some of the details. Melania is trying to get ahead of it. Another person said here, 100% chance Michael Wolff is about to release audio of Epstein saying Melania had sex on his plane. Here's someone else's thoughts.
Point Sarah just made. If the First Lady is trying to preemptively diffuse a journalistic bomb that's coming on the Epstein Files, I know a lot of good PR practitioners who would say you don't diffuse a bomb by calling attention to the bomb that's about to come and land.
It doesn't just raise eyebrows, it raises the entire floor of this scandal. Let's go back. Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex trafficker with a little black book that reads like a guest list for the most powerful rooms on earth. For years, his ties to Trump were documented. Photos, flight logs, parties at Mar-a-Lago. Trump once called him a terrific guy who liked his women on the younger side. And yet, when the Epstein files started dropping, the White House called it a hoax. But Melania didn't call it a hoax. That's where this story gets dangerous. Because in that resurfaced audio, Epstein is heard bragging, not carefully, not cautiously, bragging about his close personal relationship with Trump and the First Lady, casually, intimately, like a man who had nothing to hide because he had everything protected. And then there's the Biographer, a publisher who revealed that Epstein had been Melania's lover before Trump ever entered the picture, that Trump met Melania through Epstein, that those claims were originally printed in roughly 60,000 copies of a book before Trump
said Melania Trump is implicated by Epstein in this now resurfaced audio where Jeffrey Epstein bragged about his close relationship with the president and the first lady.
So how do you know this?
My friend was close to straight 10 years. So you probably know he had a scalp reduction because he had the same male pattern movement that we all have. He had his scalp moved and hysterical. He'd say, Michael, come on, let's go to the office. And he'd say, tell me, what's it like in there? He said, you like having sex with your wife? How often do they? He'd say, it's great. Seriously, Michael, how often do we have sex? We don't want the trouble. You and I can go upstairs, or tomorrow come over. There's this girl's coming in from Los Angeles, part of the...
The Biographer says it was a pointless gesture because the word was already out. Now here's where the open loop drops. Michael Wolff, journalist, author, the man who got inside Trump's White House like no one else, Sources are saying Wolff may be sitting on audio, Epstein audio, detailing the nature of what happened on that private jet, the Lolita Express. And the theory circulating among journalists and investigators is this: Melania already knows that audio is coming, and her impromptu press conference wasn't courage, it was damage control.
Right, there you go. And of course, we also have a biographer here who has said that Melania Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were lovers, and that Trump met Melania through Epstein.
With him in Mar-a-Lago, as you see with Epstein. Sorry, can you see okay? Epstein, a woman called Gwendolyn Beck, who Andrew took to the island, and Melania. I had various references in my book to Melania Trump. Epstein had actually been her lover before Trump, but Trump didn't like that in the book, so he ordered it to be taken out of the book. After about 60,000 copies had been printed. So it seemed to be a pretty pointless gesture, but anyway, our publishers did it, but I keep spreading the word.
Smart PR professionals have said it plainly. You don't defuse a bomb by pointing at it. The Epstein survivors responded swiftly. They called Melania's push for a congressional hearing what it is, a political performance. They said survivors have already given testimony, filed reports, shown extraordinary courage. And now they're being asked to perform again, under conditions that protect the powerful. Their statement specifically called out Pam Bondi, the DOJ, and the Trump administration for still failing to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Have a congressional hearing with the survivors, and the survivors basically said, we've done our part. They said here, survivors of Jeffrey Epstein have already shown extraordinary courage by coming forward, filing reports, and giving testimony. Asking more of them now is deflection of responsibility, not justice. First Lady Melania Trump is now shifting the burden onto survivors under politicized conditions that protect those with power. The Department of Justice, law enforcement, prosecutors, and the Trump administration, which has still not complied with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, it also diverts attention from Pam Bondi, who must answer for withheld files and the exposure of survivors' identities. Those failures continue to put lives at risk while shielding enablers. Survivors have done their part, now it's time.
Even Alex Jones broke. He said Trump has totally changed. He said the ship is sinking.
I thought this was fascinating. I want to say real fast too, you know what Melania didn't say yesterday? She didn't defend her husband at all. Isn't that interesting?
Well, President Trump came out on Truth Social and attacked myself and all the original MAGA supporters today. And I'm just so sad that whatever's happened to him has totally changed the man he once was. He did so much good. That said, it followed just a few hours after Melania Trump came out, unannounced, reportedly Trump didn't know, and said she wasn't involved with Epstein and she supports a full investigation by Congress.
He said Melania coming out alone, unannounced, distancing herself from the Epstein cover-up, reminded him of Melinda Gates turning against Bill over the exact same name. Notice what Melania didn't say. She didn't defend her husband, not once.
The Epstein cover-up, Trump says Epstein's a hoax. So this reminds me of Melinda Gates, Melinda French, when she started turning against Bill, also over Epstein. So Trump's got big problems, folks. And I am just so concerned about this country and the world. Trump's being led around by the nose by Netanyahu and by Mark Levin and others. And it's so sad. The Iran war is a total disaster, a black eye for America. They control the Strait of Hormuz. It is just absolutely incredible what we're seeing and what we're facing. I supported the old Trump that got so many good things done. But at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for him and pray that God touches.
The files are still sealed. The audio may or may not drop. The biographer is still talking. The survivors are still waiting. And the administration that promised transparency has gone quiet in all the places that matter most. So here's what nobody in Washington wants to answer. If the most powerful man in the world has nothing to hide, why does his own wife keep running ahead of him?
Thinking Trump has never been less popular. I think he's never been more powerful in terms of what the executive branch can do. It's not a great situation that we have a crazy person who feels cornered with so much power in office, but certainly Melania knows, Alex Jones knows, Megyn Kelly knows, many of MAGA know that Donald Trump is not going to survive this. So they're getting off while they can. Melania Trump's even like, I wasn't involved. It wasn't me. Now we all know it was.
Drop your thoughts below. And if you want every explosive expose before it breaks anywhere else, subscribe to Starscope Daily. This is just the beginning.